Cowboy Nations, what's up? This is your boy LT coming at you again with another flavor for the day. What I would like to see out there collectively for the first season game is Dak Prescott. What he brings, his tenacity, his whole temperament to the team. I think that that's going to be a brilliant asset to our team throughout the year. I do know that there's a lot of speculations out there that Tony Romo has done for at least 8 to 10 games, maybe 6 or 7. But that's not the case, nor the scenario either. The initial injury was for 6 or 10 games, 6 or 10 weeks, right? So it's already been 2 weeks. So if you do quick math, that's right at 4 weeks. Knowing that Tony Romo will not like to see all what he worked for go up in flames. So look for Tony Romo to come back earlier, more sooner than later. I know that we're on the Dak Prescott hype train right now, and trust me, I want Dak Prescott to get out there and make things happen, shake it loose, and just drop everything down into the bucket of victory. We all want to see that, and everybody wants to see that, but in actuality, that's just something that's just not going to happen just like that. There's always a process. And when you're talking about process, there's always a time frame when you step into that moment of excellence, that moment of perfection. So hopefully our defense can just stand up, man up, and boss up, and just be able to do something when we play against the big blue or Giants, however you want to call them. But I just hope that we can just be formidable on our defense. I want to see Zeke the Freak out there. I want to see him with the first line. I want to see him get a lot of touches on the front end. And Dez being Dez, I want to see him outside. And like I said, I've been preaching this from the beginning, is that when you have Dez Bryant to the outside, right? You got him on the outside, and you got all what you have with the running attack and everything. That brings the safety down into the box. And I think, just with my small sense of reality of my mind and all of the other things, that is going to bring that safety down into the box. And when you get that safety down into the box, they start cheating to the inside. That's leaving you one-on-one with Dez Bryant. And I'm not even throwing in Bryce Butler, because he himself, I think Bryce Butler this year is going to solidify himself being the number 2 receiver. They're going to figure out some way to do, they're going to figure out something. They're going to figure out something to do with, get a little too much feedback on my mic, but they're going to do something about T. Will, and I hope and I pray that T. Will is able to mask some of the drops that he has, and be able to build that rapport with Dak Prescott for the first 4 or 5 games. I hope and I pray that happen. Outside of that, I just see that just this offense is going to be something, a force to be reckoned with. There's so many things out there as far as the defensive opposition. They're going to have to, just think about it. Where are we weak? Cowboy Nation, where are we weak at? Where are we weak at on the offensive side? We got Jason Garrett and Will McClay. Look, the brain behind the operation is Will McClay. He's just smart. He's brilliant. He just study of the game. His way of picking up teams, not picking up teams, but picking up players to fit the motif of the Dallas Cowboys offense. I think that we might have dropped the ball just a little bit on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, where are we weak at? I'm waiting. We got a Hall of Fame tight end, right? We got the best offensive line in the universe. We have Pro Bowl top, I would argue and say top 3 wide receiver in Dez Bryant, right? He's got to be top 3 and on everybody's list, right? And then we got a formidable second wide receiver, but we got one of the top slot receivers in the game. Cole Beasley mark my word, if Cole Beasley can stay healthy, he's going to be the top slot receiver in the game. Outside of, you got your the kids who I forgot his name. I don't follow him that much, but the kid off there in Patriot Land, and I think Antonio Brown is more of a slot. I don't know if he played outside of it, as it has been presumed or opposed to. But the things that I see out there altogether, like I said, is that you got no holes on the offensive side. No holes. I'm trying to find out where. I mean, you probably have a subpar fullback. Yeah, of course, I can give you that. And one can argue and say, well, you got a rookie quarterback. But outside of those misnumbers there, where is the rest of the insufficiencies? You can't find it. You can't see it. So hopefully, and I mean hopefully, we can get this ball rolling in the right direction when it comes down to just in general, as far as offense. Now, defensive wise, of course, we got a makeshift defensive line. We have one of the best middle linebackers or Mike linebackers or whatever Sean Lee decided to play this year, or wherever they're going to put him at. Yeah, he's a Pro Bowler linebacker, but contrary to popular belief, he just can't stay healthy. I understand that, and I can dig that. And we got a mediocre safeties at best, but at the same time, it's number 31 second year. So what if he shows up and come out and make a come out party and just ball out, because we saw flashes last year, but although he was handicapped by the play of J.J. Wilcox and other players like the Cars of the world. But hopefully, if we can just be formidable all together and collectively on the offensive side, and somehow we find a way to manage the game through the run, because that's where the power and strength is going to come from, through the run. Just think about it. If you're on the defensive side, you got to be able to hold off. You got to be able to hold off Zeke the Freak, right? Or Alfred Morris, or you got to worry about number 25 when they flex them to the outside, and you can run a wheel or what have you. And then you got to be able to be conscientious, if that's the word, or you got to be mindful, that's a better word that I can say, of Dez Bryant to the outside. That's just the bottom line. What can you do to stop that? I'm just saying, what can you do to stop that? There's so many things out there that you'll have to scratch your head, turn gray, hair gonna turn gray, and all that stuff, because you can't stop a tank with no key. You don't have the ammunition to do so. There's very few teams that can be able to say, hey, we can stop this team day in and day out. And those may be the Cardinals of the world and the Seattle Seahawks of the world, but you're not playing these teams every day. You playing these teams, look, I'm getting crunk, I'm tearing up the place, but y'all know what I'm saying. You can't stop a tank with no key. And with that, it's just the bottom line. Those are things that you wish that can happen throughout the year, is that we can just get this ball rolling in the right direction far as the offense. Now, last year, our defense was a whole lot better than what it was in 2014, and I can dig that. But our offense was so poo. I'm going to have to say the word. They were so poo because of the fact that they couldn't get the ball driving down the field. And we saw what the offensive line did for McFadden. Before he came to he had one good season at the Raiders, and then he was supposedly being a wash-up football player. But we saw that wasn't the case, nor the scenario. He was able to get the fourth leading running back in the NFL, the National Football League. Darren McFadden was the fourth leading running back. And if you see some of the highlights in the films, I do have those games. Majority of the games, I did recorded those games, and they're on the channel. You can see he run so upright. He was running upright. He didn't have too many cuts, but he was fast enough to get to the second level and get those necessary yards. That's what McFadden brought to the team last year. But now you got a running back with dynamics who can take it to the house from anywhere on the field. You had that. You had a sample size of that with number 25, but he got injured. That was crazy enough to put this kid on a kickoff return when really they should have had trusted number 13, Lucky Whitehead, to do that, but they didn't trust the guy. He was still, I guess, wet behind the ear, and they just didn't trust him in that aspect. But this year, ladies and gentlemen, this year, the Cowboys is going to be a force to be reckoned with. They're going to shove the proverbial football down the opponent's throat, and that's just going to be the bottom line. When you have that type of football team that's focused and built up around the running game, that's when you're going to be able to see that the defense is if the defense can be ranked top. I would say the defense cannot be ranked number 25 in the league, right? In my opinion, I would say the defense is top 15. And it could be lower, just based on or if possible of what the actual offense does with the ball as far as running. And if we can jump out on quick leads, that would make the opponent or the opposition one-dimensional. And once you're one-dimensional, you know what happened after that. INTs, fumbles, misdirectional plays going bad, stuff like that starting to happen, and everything gels together. And one other thing that I like altogether collectively is that we got two kickoff returners that can take the ball to the house no matter where at on the field. I like what Lucky Whitehead can do, and I like what Dak Swanson can do. Look up his collegiate tape. I know it's collegiate, but he owns all type of records and kickoff returns and stuff like that. So those are things that we just gotta lay heavy on, because those things wins the game. It's 3 phases of the game. We got the first 2 phases gone. We got those first 2 phases will be the offense and the special team. I must say we doing a hell of a good job on that aspect. Now it's just one little creepy, little small, little here and there things that we need to correctify and get everything going in the right direction, and that would be our what defense. So next year, 2017, look for me during this off season. Just look up all of the actual defensive players that's out there. Now, if you guys know any defensive players that's out there that's in the collegiate level that I need to just spy on and see, hey, what would he do in the Cowboys uniform? And not to mention that we're going to get Jalen Smith back at least next year. It should be, if we can pray to God and just give him a new knee. If we can take Rod Smith's knee, his brother's knee, and put it on his knee, or do something of that nature, do some weird type of science do some type of weird type of stuff to get this thing going in the right direction with him a new knee, and we'll just be better on that aspect with Sean Lee, and then you got Smith on there, and then you can get another linebacker somewhere. Man, I'm tearing up the place, but you know what I'm saying. You guys dig what I'm saying. That's what I want to see this weekend, and I know I'm jumping back over to the football game for this weekend. I just want us to win, and we need to win. More so for Dak Prescott and more so for Zeke the Freak. Those things, that's where we need to win at. And just let me know down below what you guys are looking for as far as the first real live football game. I'm going to try to shoot it live low-key. This is how I'm going to do it. If you come to my page, if possible, if they're showing it out here where I'm at, they should be showing the game out here where I'm at. What I'm gonna do is, the game is not gonna be up live after the game. I'm gonna shoot it live, and then I'm gonna delete it after the game. So if you can find your way mosey on down to this channel and watch the game with me, celebrate with me as we try to put a hole in the Giants, you know what, and we be able to get this thing going in the right direction, baby. We're going to have to do it. So that's what I'm going to try to do, low-key. Be quiet on it, right? But that's been my time, guys. I thank you guys for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. May God bless until I see you guys again. Peace be with you. How about them Cowboys? I'm out.